This is a true story shared by Dr. VT, a physician at BD Hospital. She recounted her experience during a Dharma talk with Venerable TPH at PH Temple in District 3, HCM City, before many venerables, monks, nuns, and more than 1,000 Buddhists, moving many listeners to tears. Her husband is also a doctor and named TP, Dharma named TH. Both husband and wife work at BD Hospital in HCM City. After being married for some time, VT became pregnant. When she was 2 months along, she went for an ultrasound and the obstetrician informed her that she was carrying twins, but unfortunately, the 2 fetuses were conjoined. The doctor advised her to terminate the pregnancy to avoid becoming a burden to the family and society later on. VT was heartbroken and deeply worried. As a doctor herself, she understood that if the babies were born, they likely would not be able to live normal lives like other children. Being physically joined together would make survival fragile and bring much pain, hardship, inconvenience, and lifelong complications. However, as a Buddhist, she firmly refused to abort her children. She went home and spoke with her mother, Mrs. HT, who was also a devoted Buddhist with the Dharma name DH. Mrs. DH advised VT to invite home an image of medicine master Lapis Lazuli light Buddha and worship him while chanting his mantra. Every day, VT offered incense, flowers, and fruit, and recited the medicine Buddha mantra 108 times while vowing to maintain a lifelong vegetarian diet. Each time she chanted, she placed a glass of water on the altar, directing her heart toward medicine Buddha while praying for the safety and wholeness of her unborn children. After finishing the recitation, she would drink the blessed water over which the mantra had been recited. Strangely, before the day of her follow-up ultrasound, VT dreamed that she was holding a bodhisattva statue in her hands, and the statue moved slightly in her palms. Then she looked toward the altar and saw medicine Buddha radiating brilliant light. He smiled and said,
"Your wish has now been fulfilled."
VT was overwhelmed with joy and happiness upon seeing the Buddha. Her emotions surged, but sadly, before she could bow down in reverence, the dream shifted. She then saw herself at the hospital receiving an ultrasound from a male doctor. The doctor said the 2 fetuses were no longer joined because a membrane had appeared between them, separating the twins. She suddenly awoke in the middle of the night, her heart filled with excitement, happiness, and anxiety. She did not know what the dream meant, wondering whether perhaps her worry about the next day's appointment had simply caused such a dream. The next day, VT went for her ultrasound, and remarkably, the examining physician was also a male doctor. After carefully scanning her, he announced that the 2 fetuses were now lying separately, with a membrane dividing them. It was exactly as in her dream. How miraculous it was! Through sincere prayer to medicine Buddha and chanting his mantra, she received an inconceivable spiritual response. VT's 2 children were later born safely and remain healthy to this day. Another miracle in her family worth mentioning is that her mother, Mrs. DH, had been diagnosed with hepatitis C, a disease that is difficult and costly to treat. Her mother also began reciting the Medicine Buddha Sutra and chanting the Medicine Buddha mantra 108 times daily over a glass of water before drinking it. A few months later, when she returned for a medical examination, the doctors concluded that the disease could no longer be found. Deep in their hearts, everyone in her family remains grateful for the blessings and protection of Medicine Buddha. The Dharma is wondrous. May everyone develop faith and practice it sincerely, and surely they too will receive inconceivable blessings. Another clear miracle I personally witnessed, which I would like to share for the benefit of fellow practitioners, happened when I worked as an interpreter for an insurance company. The first time I met Mrs. Debbie, who also worked there as an insurance employee, we sat together after work and talked. She confided in me that her 18-year-old daughter had just undergone spinal surgery, and the doctors were uncertain whether she would ever walk normally again. Mrs. Debbie was deeply distressed, fearing her daughter might become disabled and wondering what future lay ahead for such a young girl. I then gave her daughter the Medicine Buddha mantra and asked Debbie to tell her daughter that as long as she recited it with faith, even though she was not Buddhist, she would certainly receive blessings. The girl was very happy to receive the mantra and diligently recited it every day as I instructed. At the rehabilitation center, there was a Thai nurse who may also have been Buddhist. Seeing the girl reciting the mantra, she suggested asking me for an image of medicine Buddha so the girl could focus on the image while chanting and concentrate better. The girl messaged me, and I thought, wonderful, why not? So I immediately sent her a picture of the Buddha. Just a few weeks later, Mrs. Debbie joyfully came to see me. She hugged me tightly and thanked me over and over. Her daughter no longer needed a wheelchair and had begun learning to walk again. The doctors were astonished because the girl recovered in record time. I told Mrs. Debbie that it was through the girl's faith that she had received the miraculous blessings of the Medicine Buddha mantra. Medicine Buddha is an enlightened being of immense compassion for all sentient beings. He protects beings from physical and mental illness, dangers, and obstacles in life, and helps them eliminate the three poisons: attachment, hatred, and ignorance, the roots of all suffering in this world. If only I had met the Buddha sooner, I would not have harbored anger and sorrow. Joy has come through practicing the Dharma. Deep within my heart, gratitude abides. Namo Medicine Master Lapis Lazuli Light Buddha.